Right. All right.
Live.
Welcome. Hi, everybody. It's Leela Vongsina Huff Gammo here. And this is Arizona Wildcraft Entertainment News. And I have myself a special guest today. Hold on. And what is going on? Move. And then, all right. And then we save that again. And okay. All right. We are still going live. All
All
right.
right.
Welcome to Arizona Wildcraft Entertainment. I'm Leela Vongsina Huff. I have Ken Alexander today from Ken's Hardwood BBQ. He's chiming in here live tonight with us. And let me get him on board. There he is. Hello, Ken. How are you doing this evening?
I am fantastic, Leila. How you doing?
I'm fabulous with everything that's going on. Actually, I'm doing pretty damn good.
Yeah, same here. I'm doing well. I just came in from the restaurant, hustling, trying to get ready for your wonderful show. I feel so honored to be your guest tonight, and I've really been looking forward to this.
Me too. Me too. I haven't seen you in such a long time, and I miss your food, your restaurant, and your company, and especially your family. How's your family doing right now?
Oh, my family's doing fabulous. Everybody's safe. Everybody's well. Um, most of the people at the restaurant are my family. My son-in-law, uh, my granddaughter. She's really working for us now. My grandson, and so the family's doing well.
Well, you can say your business is your family business, isn't it?
It is. It is a family business. It's a, what was that Sly and the Family Stones? It's a family affair. It's a family affair.
Exactly.
That's what it is. It's a family affair. We love
And
it.
boy, do we keep it real that way,
Keeping
you
it
know?
real. Keeping it real. Yeah. Yeah. So the family. I got to see my 1.5-year-old granddaughter the other day. So she's basically been in since this whole COVID thing. So, but I did get a chance to. She came out of the house, so we got to hang out with her this weekend. So, uh, you know, and she's my heart, one of my hearts. They have a lot, one, two, three, four granddaughters, and I love them all. But she's the baby. She's the youngest. So, uh, yeah, she's the highlight right now. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, really. Yeah. So the family's well.
Yeah, I'm very lucky you allowed me to be a part of your family functions. So I definitely am. I feel part of your family, especially. And how's the food business going on at the moment? How are you taking care of your business at the moment?
Well, you know, we were really unsure when this when this all first went down, and they were, they stopped the in-house dining, and where was this all going in the beginning? Then we just went straight to takeout, and the thing is that, and we are so very grateful to Tucson and to our customers and the Tucson community, because they've really supported us during this takeout, during this crisis. They've continued to come. They've continued to buy our food. They continue to support us. They've been really kind, and at the same time, we're trying to do our best, make the best food possible, and get it to
And
them.
it is that. It
And
is one of the best foods, best barbecues in Tucson.
yeah, yeah. Well, I really appreciate you saying that. So the thing is, so we got this whole COVID crisis. So, so what do? I mean, we take we go through, trying to keep people safe. So,
Yeah.
we were already using gloves and sanitizers and all the stuff that you're supposed to do
Mhm.
as a restaurant, as a business, as somebody serving food to make sure nobody gets ill. So uh, most of
That's
the
the truth.
rules and stuff that they were all saying that restaurants had to do, we were doing anyway. No, we weren't taking temperatures. We weren't, those types of things. But as far as the cleanliness, as far as cleaning surfaces and that kind of stuff, and not, so we were already doing that anyway. And so now we're still doing takeout. I know some restaurants are open already, but Pima County has yet to, uh, in my opinion, come out with some clear guidelines as to how a restaurant is supposed to operate. So, at one point, state of Arizona had some rules. Pima County came out with some rules. The state of Arizona sued Pima County because their rules were too strict and this. But I understand that they're working on a campaign. They're working on the rules, and they're going to release something here pretty soon. And then we'll take a look at that, and then that will determine when we reopen our dining room. But in the meantime, we are getting a lot of support from the community, from our customers, and we're very grateful for that. And when this thing is all over, we'll still be here, and we'll be in a good position when it's over. That's
Yeah.
a long answer for, but that's, yeah. Go ahead. So
Well,
so the thing is, thumbs up. Things are going well for us right now.
yeah. Well, I'm very glad to hear that. I also hear that in this pandemic, you kind of already in the groove of kickstarting your food truck.
Yeah, well, okay, the pandemic. Um, Actually, our food truck's only been out 3 times since the beginning of April. So we're not really, you know, using the food truck. I mean, our focus has been on the restaurant.
Okay.
And like I said, we've had 3 events. And I mean, one was on the base, that was in early April. But just recently, which was a really great thing, um, 107.1, The Drive, the radio station, they had raised money. And what they were doing is they used that money to feed first responders. So what they did, so in order to get a twofer, they
Mhm.
helped. They wanted to feed first responders free, and then they wanted to help out food trucks. So they got together and they hired food trucks to feed the first responders free. So we were able to go to a couple of the police substations, and we fed them, and the money that the 101.7, the Groove, raised, they paid the food vendors. They paid us to do that. And so that was a joy, just to be there and support, Tucson's finest, to support the people that, help us, that we call on when, we're in danger or we have problems and that. So we really enjoyed being a part of that. And so, but that's all we've done with this food truck to date, since this whole COVID thing has been going on. And, um, everything's working out. It's fine. Like I said, our focus is mostly on the restaurant, and the food truck's still there. It's still available for events. But other thing is that uh, there haven't been a lot of big gatherings for food trucks. And I know some food trucks go and hang out and people come by, but that's, we're mostly go do big gatherings and big events. And so there haven't been any of those. So uh, the food truck's basically been parked.
Well, it's at least it's good to have as a backup for what is to come, because sooner or later we're all going to be able to come out and do what we need to do, and everybody will be socializing again like they used to, sooner or later. But for now, I heard you had your show on your radio show. What are you talking about on your radio show since you started?
The radio show, we're having so much fun on the radio show. The radio show is for the amateur backyard barbecue person. And that is to, one of the things every week we want to just give them some tips, some techniques, and it's basically like helping them with their outdoor entertaining and with food. Because,
Give me an example. Give me an example of the tips that you're giving to your viewers.
Well, we're giving them tips about grilling. I mean, some of the basic tips is, a lot of people, for instance, the other day, on Father's Day, one of my friends sends me this video of this guy trying to ride his grill with gasoline. And he's like grill, and it's this big poof explosion. And then, he's running, the gas can's on fire, he's kind of on fire, the dog is barking, his buddy's trying to help him put the fire out. So one of the tips we're giving people is how to light a grill, how to light a grill, how to use the proper way to light charcoal, the proper way to light a gas grill. And those, turns out that's a really important tip. But the other thing is just, talking to them about meat and different types of equipment and, how you cook ribs and brisket and temperatures. And, we're also going to talk to them about and try to help them, every good backyard guy, or person, that's in the backyard and they want to have, they want their friends to come by and give them some kudos for saying, man, that's a good barbecue. But, who doesn't want their own barbecue sauce? Who doesn't want to know how to make their own rub? These are the kinds of things that we're going to help them with if, our listeners on the show and, talk to them about the different types of meats, what it takes to cook them on different equipment and those things. And, and then we'll talk more about maybe some cocktails for barbecue and different things. We're gonna, we have a lot of fun on the show. One of the things is, so our first show we had some friends of mine, and they are on All About the Win podcast. They have a podcast, and it's a podcast where their podcast, they interview entrepreneurs about their greatest win up to date. And so, but when we talked to them about their barbecue skills or whatever, and one of the guys, he doesn't have any kind of barbecue skills anyway. So we're going to be checking in with him periodically to see, because right now he's sort of like our novice pit master in training. So we're going to check in on him every couple of weeks or so. So we're going to have a lot of fun. It's a fun show. We're going to have a lot of fun. My co-host is Dion DJ James. He is a pit master, foodie, and also a cicerone. He knows a lot about beer. And so it's going to be a really fun and exciting show. And we love it. I mean, we've produced 2 shows already. We've aired one. And so I'm really enjoying it. It's a fun thing. And it's there to help the folks at home and the barbecue public. That's what it's about.
I got a couple viewers asking me questions as you're talking.
Sure.
Would you like to ask? One of them, was it difficult to get a permit in the beginning for your food truck? And how did you get started with the food truck?
Oh, okay. No, I wouldn't say it was difficult. I mean, sometimes, it could be challenging, I think some of the requirements and stuff that they have. But the first thing I did before I bought the food truck, before I got it, because we had our food truck designed to the way we wanted it. So we had it built in Georgia, my son and I. So we went to Pima County Health Department first to find out what the requirements were. So when we were having it built, we wanted to make sure that it met those requirements. So that was one of the things. So I would have, before I went looking for a food truck, or because most people are going to go and maybe try to buy a used truck or used food truck. So I would say go and get the requirements first, and then start looking. So you can see that, so you can check it out as you're evaluating the different trucks. And so the thing about as a food truck, and I didn't understand at first, I didn't understand, but you also have to have a commissary. So you have to have a place that has a kitchen where you do your dishes, where you store your food and all that stuff. So not only does your food truck need to be inspected, but the commissary needs to be inspected. And there's places that will there's places that will offer you those commissary services around town. So you need a commissary food truck, and then you just have to. Oh, and now the requirement is that the other thing is training. You got to have training. You got to have certifications. You got to have a food safety certification. And I believe now at least one person has to have a food safety manager's certification, which is a 8-hour course and typically a 2-hour test. And so at our restaurant, we have 4, really a restaurant on every shift, you're supposed to have a food safety manager, somebody is certified. We have 4 people at our restaurant, 4 food safety managers, and everybody else at our restaurant they have the food safety handlers training. So, I mean, the question, is it difficult? No, it's not difficult, but I would suggest that get all the rules up front and just go through, dot all the I's, cross all the T's, and just kind of be systematic at it. And, I always try to help folks out. If you had a question or whatever, hey, about food trucks or whatever, I'd be more than happy to answer a question or, email.
Well, you're getting a lot of, you're handsome, you're awesome. I'm getting a lot of great things here that are popping up. One particular question that popped up I like. It said, when did you get started and how long have you been cooking that amazing, delicious barbecue? That's a good one. Hey.
So look, I've been cooking for 51 years. Now, you wouldn't think I'm that old, but I started cooking.
You don't look that old. Hold on.
I started cooking in my mama's kitchen when I was 9 years old. I was 9.
I met your mama.
It's one of those things is that, so, I come from a single parent family. My mom worked at nights, and it's 6 boys and 1 girl. And so, I figured out at an early age that, if I didn't want to, because I really love to eat. And if I didn't want to be waiting around for somebody to fix me something to eat, I should probably learn how to cook, And so I enjoy it. My family, because my family's out of Tennessee and Kentucky. My uncle, Glenn, is my grandfather's brother. He had a restaurant down in Nashville, right outside of Nashville, a place called Dixon, Tennessee. And we go down there for summers and stuff like that. And the food was amazing. And most of the recipes and everything that we have in Ken's Hardwood Barbecue are all family inspired. They're from my uncles, grandfathers, aunts, my grandfather's brother. They could all burn. A burn in my neighborhood means they could cook really, really well. And so, this all came from me through my mom and my grandfather, and there's just love of cooking, and so that's my family, and we've always seen food as a way to bring people together, and just kind of celebrate each other, and in my family, like I said, the Sadlers. I mean, man, that's the family name. My grandfather was a Sadler. Folks can cook. So you know, you bringing folks together, it better be good. You know, you're gonna find out about it. So
Very true.
yeah, so that's how I learned. That's how I started cooking. But you know, over the years, you know, I've traveled. I've been to 43 different countries. I've been to a lot of, and I, like I said, I love food, and I'm not shy about trying new things. So basically, you know, all of our side dish recipes and everything, those are all family inspired. You know, and that's why when you look on our menu, you've got Grandma Wilma's green beans, Uncle Grandpa Robert's, you know, mac and cheese, and then you got Aunt Sister Girl's uh, peach cobbler, and you know, my Aunt Liz. She's a huge contributor to the way that we smoke meats because she can cook some daggone ribs, you know, and she, you know, and I was like, you know, I was at her house one time. I was like, and she had that Weber grill going on out there, and I was looking out the window and I was smelling that. She had the neighborhood smelling up, and I was like, man, Liz, what are you doing to those ribs? And I tasted them, and I was like, oh my God, you got to show me. And so, you know, these and, you know, over the years and bringing all this stuff together. And that's what, you know, that's what we have at the restaurant. And so the restaurant is about great food, but the restaurant also is about bringing people together and fellowshipping and having a good time and enjoying each other.
Well, I'm getting a lot of woohoos, and you're a family inspiration. I love food like you do. I love smoked brisket. How's
Oh,
your brisket?
so my, you know, I've been doing briskets so we had, I mean, and one reason how they got in the restaurant, because I spent 27 and a half years working for a defense contractor here in town. So, you know, my first career. This is,
Hmm.
so that was what I did. I always looked at it. Once I retired, that was all just practice for, you know, the life that I'm leading now, you know.
Hmm.
So, and before that, I've had like almost for 30 years had like these cookouts at my house, uh, and so like twice a year, but the Sunday before Memorial Day and the Sunday before Labor Day, and I've been cooking, you know, briskets and ribs and chicken all of this time, and so I have a lot of experience cooking brisket, and you know, a lot of people around town before we ever opened the restaurant were always saying, "Hey, Ken, can you do a brisket?" The church would call and say, "Can you do a couple of briskets for this event, for that event, or whatever?" And so, you know, so my briskets were kind of like in demand before we ever even started a food truck or the restaurant, and so we, you know, we took those recipes from like doing them in smaller quantities and take them to do, you know, commercially. And so as it turns out that I guess, you know, from the way we sell briskets at the restaurant, that the briskets really were good. You know, it's not just people that would get it free saying it. People are now willing to pay for it and they still say it's good. So, which is cool, you know. So that's, you know, we enjoy it, and like I have a lot of experience cooking briskets, and you know we have two other pit masters at the restaurant. We have my son-in-law Sean Radford and my son KG Alexander, and they are both accomplished pit masters, and you know they've been to, you know, my school of pit mastery. You know,
Someone,
adult.
excuse me for a second. Somebody is asking, do you have a signature rub? Yeah. Do you have a signature rub, and how many ingredients goes into that rub?
So we make our own rubs. We make all our own sauces at the restaurant, and we do have a signature rub. And if I were to count them, I you know I think it's about. I mean, it's about 7 or 8 ingredients in our rub, and that's one of the things we're going to do on the radio show is teach people how to make their own rub. You know, because it's all about. I mean, I don't think it's about
Do you think it's about
copying.
portions of each of the spices? That's what somebody's asking.
Yeah, so that would be like giving up our secret. And
Oops.
I'm
Can't
not
give up
saying
the
no
Ken
secret.
secret.
There's no, we're not giving up hardwood secrets today on the on your show. But I can tell you some of the main ingredients in there. There's you know almost every rub has paprika,
Oh, good.
and paprika. You start with that. That's like the biggest ingredient, or the most plentiful ingredient in a
Makes
rub.
it nice and
Right,
red too.
right. So you got paprika, and then you typically you have chili powder, and then the rest of it, and that gives it the barbecue, and then the rest of it is has to do with your taste. I mean, so you have like a sweetener, some kind of sugar in there. Do you want to put garlic, onion powder, different? So then it's the other kind of spices. Do you want it to be spicy? If you want it to be spicy, maybe you put pepper, or you put red pepper in there. And so that is, so you just start there, and that's one of the things we're going to do on the radio show is to help people come up with their own rub, with their own, and pretty soon we're going to be selling our rub in the restaurant and online.
You
So
know what? I think it's time that you and I come up with a cooking show too,
yeah, that'll
like
be great.
this. You could have it
I
all
love
in that beautiful kitchen of yours. I could totally set it up, and we'd be like live in Ken's
it.
kitchen.
I would
Oh
love
my
it.
God, Ken's kitchen. What did
Yeah,
we start?
it would be great. I mean, because again, I love to cook. Probably the one reason I love to cook is because I love to eat. And
Somebody asked, "Do you have a citrus rub?" A citrus rub? Yeah.
uh, now we don't really have a citrus rub. I mean, and I'm trying to see what I would use it on. I mean, we could probably use it on chicken or something like that. Uh,
Yeah.
uh, I mean, we have some different rubs. So we have a lot of recipes that we don't even use in the restaurant at this time. Some things we'll just introduce as specials. We've got these like fantastic. I think I call them Diablo wings, and that we're going to have like a special at one point, and they have like a little citrus in them, but it's just you know, uh, but yeah, I mean, a lot of times what we do is we open up our test kitchen when we want to try something else new. That's what we call our test kitchen. So like most of our sauces, like all of the wing sauces, those are all created right there in our test kitchen, and KG he's the one that comes up with all the sauces. He just, right now, I mean, the newest sauce is our Alabama white sauce, which is fantastic. And we just introduced a new sandwich, which is called the big smokehouse, and it has the Alabama white sauce on that, which is it's brisket, pulled pork, a hot link, and then it's got some other like you name it
Woo! I'm
toppings
salivating.
on it. And yeah, it's all on a toasted brioche bun, and it's a big sandwich, but that's like our signature sandwich right now. But the thing is, yeah. So we create our own sauces and rubs and everything.
Another question. How many wing sauces do you make?
Right now, I believe we have about 8 or 9 wing sauces.
Woo wee. Do you want to name them off? I love that. Exactly when I said that, they said the exact same thing I did. So would you like to name them off?
So we have Cajun, which is the Cajun is
My
and that's
favorite.
and I don't want don't be if I don't get them all don't criticize or don't tell my son that I didn't get all the sauces right on the show. But anyway, so Cajun, that's more like your normal buffalo sauce, but we do have a buffalo too. We have our honey gold, which is a honey mustard based sauce. Then we have our mild barbecue. We have our Carolina barbecue, and then we have our hot barbecue. Now the hot barbecue really is my favorite sauce. In
It
it's
is
my
mine
favorite
too.
sauce. And the other and then we have a like a, I think it's a honey Asian. We have a hot Asian, um, and so now I'm getting lost. My son, he's probably
Well,
gonna.
I didn't try. I haven't tried the hot Asian. I
Yeah,
have
we
to
have
come in
like a.
for that one.
Yeah, we got like a hot Asian, and so I think we have one more sauce. But yeah, I think if you go online, you can see all the sauces. But and he's always trying and coming up with new sauces. But the thing about sauces, so the wings, so what we do to our wings is we smoke them, and so which is different than a lot of people. We smoke our wings and then we flash fry them and then put the sauce on them. All of our other meats, so we season and prepare our meats so they really don't need sauce to me. Because I can eat my rib with no sauce. And as a matter of fact, I had some ribs here the other day. I brought some from the restaurant. They were in the refrigerator. I took a couple out, heated them up in the microwave, and I didn't use any sauce on them because to me, they don't need sauce. But a lot of people enjoy sauce. And so we try to match that meat up with a sauce that just complements it. And so for the brisket and the ribs, we make our mild sauce. For the pulled pork and the pulled chicken, that's more of a, we cook it more Carolina style. And so we have a Carolina barbecue sauce that we pair with that. But and people really enjoy it. So that's more like a sweeter, it has a little spice to it, but not a lot. And then, like I said, we make a hot barbecue for whatever you want to use it for. And that is by far, for me, that's the favorite. But, people like all those sauces. And then we have the Alabama white sauce, which, Alabama white sauce, I like it on chicken, hot links, and different like that. So I really enjoy. If I was going to say my second sauce, but it just depends on what meat I'm eating, would be the Alabama white sauce. And
Well, I got to try that one.
A mayonnaise-based sauce, and it's white, So, and we've only been doing that in the restaurant for a few months, but yeah.
Well, somebody's asked a question that I've been asking for a while. Do you sell your own bottled sauces at your restaurant?
So we do sell our sauces. We just sell them in mason jars, so we'll do a sauce. But we're right in the process of actually really, bottling them and labeling them and selling them. We're going to sell them in the restaurant and actually sell them online. So I'm not certain how soon it's going to be. Maybe before the end of summer or early fall or something like that, we should be able to.
Well, I'll let my viewers know when that happens, and we'll have you on again, and we'll talk all about your sauces. Yeah, but I'm getting a lot of questions too. What kind of side dishes do you have? If they're Southern.
They're Southern, so
I'm like, okay.
We got mac and cheese.
Real good.
Collard greens. We sell so many
I love your collard greens.
Yeah, because sometimes it's hard to get, especially when the COVID thing came around. It's really hard to get them, so we have to really scramble to even find them.
And what's that hot sauce that Tamika always gives me for that collard greens? What is that?
No, so you're talking about vinegar sauce. That's that's a Southern thing. Is where you take peppers together and
that's
so
good.
That's how you know somebody that been around, been in the South, is they ask for that vinegar sauce
I drank
we're actually
greens in that.
Sauce. They ask for the pepper sauce. And really it's vinegar and the little peppers in there, and you just hit that on the greens. But that's a veteran right there.
I have to say, I had never done that before. And when I came to your restaurant and Tamika goes, girl, you got to try this. And I'm like, okay. She just poured it on there. And I was just like, okay, I'm down. And then I understood why she just poured it on there, because it was good. It just made the collard greens, it made my mouth salivate with every bite. And I loved it. I could eat like a bowl of that.
So we go through a lot of collard greens in a week. We sell them. That's like, so our most popular side is mac and cheese, and then collard greens. We sell the beans, and then lately we've been selling a lot of.
Don't forget your vegan
fried
beans.
okra.
Don't forget your vegan.
Yeah, so we have a vegan 3-bean chili. So I mean, and the thing about it is, at our restaurant, the only vegetable that we have that has meat in it is the collard greens, and that's smoked turkey. Everything else, so we don't cook any of our vegetables with pork, and all of the rest of the vegetables that we have don't have any meat in them. So our barbecue beans, and they are very hot seller, and they are very flavorful. But we start with vegetarian beans, and then make up our barbecue beans. Our green beans don't have any meat, we don't. And like I said, none of our vegetables have pork, and only one vegetable even has meat. So they're all vegetarian. And then we also have a vegan 3-bean chili. That it's barbecue, but
Got another question.
Go ahead.
Another viewer asks, do you sweeten your collard greens?
Our collard greens are not sweet, but most people know that. I mean, when you are cooking something, I mean, when to bring out the saltiness in something or whatever, you add sugar. To bring out the sugar, you add a little salt. I mean, so we don't sweeten our collard greens, and our collard greens are not sweet. So, do they have a little sugar, maybe?
Well, personally, I love your collard greens. I don't want you to change them one bit. So,
right, yeah, there's a lot of spices that we put into the collard greens. A lot of spices, and and we sell a lot of them. A lot of people like them.
Well, I do. I don't know if you noticed, but I have your website, kenshardwoodbbq.com, and your phone number down here rolling on a scroll.
Mm-hmm.
So all the viewers are definitely catching the phone number and where it's at. So I'm hoping that you get more customers in the next couple of weeks, because you've had I'm actually quite amazed for this evening. We had up to 12 people go live with us, and probably 200 more will watch it later on their own time. That's the great thing I love about doing this show is people can watch this when they want to, and they can stop it. Or even the great thing is, if you did something like this and you're doing a recipe, they could stop it and start it all over again with something like this.
Yeah. The thing is just, so one of the things that we're going to do on the show, I'm just going to talk about, cooking, especially with this COVID thing. A lot of people have to eat at home or whatever. And if you have a grill, I know one of the things I just did recently is lamb chops, roasted potatoes, and asparagus.
Ooh.
On a gas grill within an hour.
Okay, is this at home or at the restaurant? I'm coming over. I'm coming over. I'm sorry, but I'm coming over. You got me hungry now. Holy honey. Oh, so every time you do this, you get me salivating, Ken. You can't do this to me. I'm a hungry woman.
So that's one of the things that we get, like I said, the radio show. That's what it's all about. It's helping people like that. You can, from start to finish, in an hour, you're sitting down with your plate with some nice lamb chops on it. You got, like I said, roasted potatoes and all that. And it was all cooked on one grill. You don't have a lot of dishes, or anything. And you're using, like, all you need is some heavy duty aluminum foil. And just,
what do you,
it doesn't have to be heavy duty, but you need
question. What do you spice up your asparagus with?
So the asparagus I used some olive oil, kind of rub them in olive oil, and then just kosher salt. I just put a little kosher salt on them. And then so what I do is I take a long piece of aluminum foil, and then I lay down the asparagus, and then I a top over it. So I just kind of lay the top over there, and then I seal the 3 sides. And then I just lay that down on the grill. And it only, because, you don't want the asparagus too wilted or anything. And if once the grill is hot and you put it on there, you probably only need them on there for 2 to 3 minutes each side. You can flip them over and they'll be fine. They'll be ready, nice, and still have a little crisp to them like asparagus should. And then you could take the roasted potatoes, about little roasted potatoes, the little ones, just those. And I did the same thing, but the roasted potatoes, I take them, put a little olive oil on them, and then I added some like thyme and rosemary, some kosher salt, and maybe some other whatever spices you want to do. And then you take those and do them the same way and put them in that aluminum foil and make sure you fold the sides, the other 3 sides, and then you just put them on the grill. Now, if you don't have a heavy-duty aluminum foil, you kind of need to double it. But if you do, you're fine. And you just put those on. And those potatoes, you can leave those on for probably about 30 to 35 minutes, and to have the grill on, I would say, well, like medium or something like that. So the thing is whenever you set up a grill, and we're back to Get Your Barbecue on radio show, you want to set up one part that's kind of cool and one part you got the hot side. So you want to have a spot so that way you can cook with convection heat. You can so that hot side in there, you close it and you got the heat going in there. And so, but that's how you do it. Those potatoes take about like I said, 30 minutes on the.
Do you shave your asparagus?
So I'll put the potatoes on first.
Okay.
They're on. Then I do the asparagus. I put those on, and they're only going to be. And I do the lamb chops last because you want to. Because those are in aluminum foil. You could take them off and they could sit and wait for the lamb chops. Now, if you got lamb chops, I don't know, maybe about an inch, inch and a half thick or whatever. So you throw the lamb chops on there, and I'm thinking about 4 minutes aside, 5 minutes aside. You throw it on, and then they're going to be perfect, sort of like medium. You don't want them past. Well, it just depends. Some people like to burn the meat up, but I'm more of like between medium rare, medium. And you're gonna have a nice chop if you just, and if the grill is hot, you put them on there and you turn them over once. Let them stay about 4 minutes on one side, another 4 minutes on the other side, and it'll be perfect. You can do all that and be sitting down eating within an hour. Nice. I would say
people are asking, are you going to have any 4th of July specials?
We're still thinking about it. If we were going to do anything, it might be some ribs, but otherwise, we probably won't have any specials.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about the discounts that we were talking about before for the unions by any chance?
Well, I don't know if did we finalize anything or whatever, but we talked about the SAG that we would do. I think we talked about what, 20%?
Yeah.
And it'd be SAG member plus one. And it
got a woohoo on that one.
It wouldn't apply to, it would only apply to it wouldn't be any good. It only applied to, it wouldn't apply to any other discount. So like if we had ribs on sale, or if we had some other special going, it wouldn't count towards that.
Okay.
Right. And it'll be, like I said, it'll only be SAG plus one.
Okay, SAG plus one. You heard it, everyone. SAG plus one. Are we also throwing this out to maybe the IATSE and DGA, maybe the Teamsters Union?
No.
Or No, just SAG. Okay. So we're
Just
just going to work. So SAG people, all my SAG individuals out there, you're here, Ken. You plus one, 20% discount. So come on down and visit Ken Hardwood Barbecue. It's on 22nd Street, 5250 22nd Street. East.
bring your SAG card.
Yeah. Oh, I also want to talk about your desserts. Because when your mama was in town, you brought out something real special. And you didn't keep it around for long, but I had people ask me, are you going to bring that back?
Oh, you're talking about the chest pie.
Yes.
Yeah, we are gonna bring it back.
You want to
Yeah,
tell people about that? Because I got a liking on that creamy thing.
yeah. It is really good. We haven't brought it back yet, but we're gonna bring it back. I can't really say when. You know, one of the things is we're so from the 6th through we're gonna be closed the day after July, uh, the day after the 4th of July. So from the 5th of July, and then we'll reopen on the 14th. We're gonna close the restaurant. That's the time we do maintenance and take vacation and that kind of stuff. So we're gonna be closed, and then probably after we come back in July or whatever, we'll start with the some chest pies.
Oh, okay. Well, it is good to know that you guys are going to take a little hiatus during the pandemic and take some time off. And
Yeah,
so, when are those dates again? So we will let the viewers know that you're not closing. You're just going to be gone for a little while.
right. It starts. So we will. It'll begin on the 6th of July, and we will reopen the restaurant on Tuesday, the 14th of July.
Yeah, that is a very important thing because right now, as I drive down Broadway, so many of our restaurants, so many of our stores are shutting down. People are not being able to make it ends meet. And I am very thankful that you and your family are doing well during this horrible time. And I'm hoping Broadway gets finished too, because that's the one. Broadway and 22nd Street right now are on heavy construction right now, and hopefully by the time you get back from your vacation, we'll actually have a good road all the way up to your restaurant.
Yeah. So it's yeah. So we're doing fine. We'll be back. Like I said, we're only shutting down because of we need to take a break. I mean, actually, we've been really busy during the pandemic, and we've been getting a lot of support, and we gained customers during this time. So it's yeah, all I can say is we're blessed, fortunate, and we just look forward to cooking food, serving food, and seeing folks in the restaurant. We like interfacing and talking, and we enjoy it. And I think we still haven't determined what time when we're gonna open or reopen the dining room, but we'll make it our decision after we hear from this new thing from Pima County.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, I look forward to having the restaurant inside area open up because you did have a wonderful band. I guess you had playing there for a little while too. So you were having a little bit of ambiance, a little jazz band for a bit. And
yeah, we had a concert in the restaurant. Uh, it's been a long time though. So I mean but we haven't done it since, and I don't know. I don't know. Especially with the new rules, there's probably not room for a band in our dining room. So we'll see. But right now, I love the music we play there. We play old timey jazz at the
yep.
restaurant. A lot of people enjoy it. I really enjoy it myself, and so I think it's a good atmosphere.
Well, thank you so much, Ken, for coming on my show this evening.
You are very welcome. And so the other thing is, we talked about the SAG. So the SAG thing,
Uh-oh.
the discount, because if you were to go in there now, nobody would know what you're talking about. So it'll start too when we get back from
Okay.
the fourth. When we come back from the break, and that's when we're going to. So our menus changed. We have the new menu up on the website. We're going to change that. We're going to take that menu, put it up in the restaurant, and at the same time, that's when we'll start the SAG discounts and the other.
Well, that will be lovely because by that time it will also be up on the SAG's website, so it will be validated through that too. Because we're in the process of making things move slowly but along for you and SAG. So I'm hoping in the near future we're going to have a new Cactus connection, and if so, I hope to have it at your restaurant and bring all of my lovely entertainers to your doorstep, because you have some fabulous food. You have a fabulous family too. And I love the way you work because you incorporate everybody around you that brings good positive energy as your family. And thank you for including me and my family in yours. So, all right, I'm going to close down time. And thank you, everybody. I am so excited that, everybody chimed in tonight and gave Ken a wonderful, wonderful welcome to the streaming world. So thank you, my gamers, my people on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and all of the above, Periscope. Oh my goodness, everybody kind of like chimed in tonight, even people I didn't even know. So thank you so much for chiming in, and definitely check out Ken's Hardwood BBQ. There's the number, there's the address down below. Write it down, and we'll talk soon. Signing off, Arizona Wildcraft Entertainment. I am Leela Vongsina Huff, and this is Ken Alexander, and we're signing off for the evening. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.